Morning. My name is Bruce. I'm with the Suncoast Fly Fishers, and today we're going to demonstrate tying one of the flies that I enjoy a lot. It's called a Red Rouser. Just fly right here. It's an excellent fly in Florida here for redfish. I've had some friends that use it with excellent results. One I think caught 27 reds in a day with it, and another trip they caught many others. But anyway, what I'm going to do, you can tie this fly on a mustad size 2 to size 2/0 in the 3407. Today I'm going to use a 1/0 in the 3407, and then we're going to put it right in the vise here. And I'm going to use some orange thread on it here, and I'm going to wrap the thread from just behind the hook eye to just above the hook point. Wrap it up here, come back with it, and then I'm going to take the scissors, cut off my tag end right here. I'm going to use orange, burnt orange and bucktail. I want to use a wooden matchstick. It's worth. I use it a little more when I cut it because I'm going to thin it down, and I'll show you how I do that and what I'm looking to do. This is what I've taken out. I'm going to grab this all the way down by the tip here and start pulling out all the short hairs that come in this bunch, because I want the long straight fibers. Then I'm going to take all these little oddballs that are sticking out in different directions, pull them out, go through until I have it where I want it, which is right about now. Now I've got a nice straight clump, straight hair. I'm going to lay it down. I want it to be approximately 2 times the hook shank. So I'm going to bring it up here, which will bring it here, and I'm going to wrap it around 2 times, very lightly, no weight on it. Then I'm going to take and push it down and just kind of work it around the hook shank. Now that I have it around the shank, I'm going to wrap it forward and then back, and I'm going to wrap it back to the hook point right there, and that'll give me the body wrap that I want. While I have this nice and open, I'm going to take a brown Sharpie and I'm going to put 3 bands on it. One just about where the bend of the hook is, and then I'm going to add 2 more to the length. They look like they're about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch apart. Now I have the banding that I want to have on there. The next thing I'm going to do is bring my thread forward again, and I'm going to put my eye on. Typically, if I were fishing in deeper water, 6 feet or so, I would use lead, a red lead eye on this particular fly. But because of where I fish, typically in Tampa Bay, I'm fishing in 4 feet to a foot of water, sometimes less than a foot of water. And so I don't need that much weight. I can use a nice piece of brass bead chain here. I'm going to give this 10 wraps on each side. Then I go around it twice, and I'm coming back. This will permanently hold my eye. It's nice and tight here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 strands of flash, I'm going to take this flash, bring it around under my thread here and up and equal it out. Now I've got it here. I'm going to come up, pull it down on top, give it a couple wraps here. Now I'm going to lay it down to the sides because this is actually the bottom of the fly. And I'm going to wind this back to where I had my other thread wraps. Now I have this on there like I want. Now I'm going to put some silly legs on, and I also like to use odd numbers. So I'm going to take 3 silly legs, which actually is going to come out to 6, but 3 on each side. And I'm going to take them and put them on just like I did the flash here. I'm going to come around, bring it under the thread, match it up in length. Pull down here nice and tight, get a couple wraps. Now I'm going to take and come down each side. Grab it on both. Pull it down and back. And now I'm going to wrap it down tight. The thread here. Go back over it 2-3 times to make sure I got it where I want it. Okay. So now I've got my silly legs on, I have my flash, I have the tail, and I have my eyes. The next thing I'm going to put on is some chenille, Palmer chenille in the medium size, which is approximately a 1/2 inch. And I'm going to take about a 5-inch piece, 6 inches. Snip it off here. While I have it, I'm going to take and cut off about a 1/4 inch of the end, leaving the thread, just taking the hairs off the flash. So I have some thread to tie on. I'm going to lay it right across the top of my thread wraps here and wrap that forward. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to palm it away from me with the material going to the back, and I'm going to wrap it towards the front. So as you can see, I'm keeping the material back, coming forward. Material back, coming forward. I'm going to do this all the way till I get just behind the eyes of the fly. Now when I get down to where I'm satisfied, I'm going to take this and bring it right in front between the eyes, but I'm going to wrap over it from behind. I'm going to give it 10 wraps behind the eyes. And I'm going to take and snip my excess off right here. I've got this wrapped. There we go. Now I'm going to tie it off. I'm a half hitch guy, I always have been, but I'm going to give it 3 half hitches right to here. Now that I have that done, I'm going to take some very thin epoxy and just touch the threads right here. Let that soak in. And put the light on it. 10 seconds to let it set the epoxy. And what I'm going to do, because this is the bottom, when these land, I want to cut this hair off, or this chenille on the back here, just because when this lands on the bottom, I want it to be straight. If you leave the materials on there, there's a good chance that your fly won't rest properly on the bottom. It'll cock to one side or the other, or even roll a little bit. So by just pruning that hair off here, you're in good shape. Now I'm going to take and snip my thread off. I'm going to rotate it a moment, put another tiny drop here on top. Give it another 10 seconds. Put this down. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is take this out and show you we have created here another nice red rouser. This fly, like I say, this is the bottom. It'll lay so that it's hook up in the water. And like I say, we've trimmed the chenille underneath there so it won't cause it to roll. It'll let it lay nice and flat. And that for you again is a red rouser. Thank you.